now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Howard Storm, and we're discussing this book, My Descent into Death. It was originally published in England in 2000. The American edition came out in 2005. Today, we're going to be discussing Chapter 9. The title of that chapter is Reality. This chapter is entirely a question and answer session that I had with Jesus during my near-death experience. This is only a small sample of the questions that I asked him, but I tried to, in this chapter, use questions that I thought were highly relevant and kind of had a big universal appeal. Frankly, most of the questions that I asked him were personal questions about me, my life, my family, why. And I don't include any of that in my book because I'm not interested in sharing it. And I don't think it's really of much interest to anybody else why I was the way I was. I mean, you really care about my mother and father and my sisters and my aunts and uncles and my teachers in school and, all that stuff. I just don't think it's all that interesting. My life was as messy as anybody else's. And when I look back at it, I've got lots of regrets, plenty of things I wish I could have done differently, and I didn't. It's just not, I mean, there were also happy times and good things, but I just really not interested in discussing. So anyways, here we go. I asked in this chapter, I mentioned 12 questions that I asked him, and to the best of my ability, the questions are literally how I asked them at that time. That was in 1985. This is 2021. A few years have passed. I've learned a lot in the decades since then, and I would be asking him different questions, and I would have asked him much more sophisticated questions. But this is what happened when I was in the presence of Christ Jesus. So, begin with the first question. Where did the creation come from? That was a biggie. Jesus, of course, told me that God was the creator, and God made everything. And before God, there was nothing. There was no space, no time, no energy, no nothing, just God, which begs the question, which people have asked me on a few occasions, who made God? Where did God come from? What was God made of? And I don't know. And I would submit to you that anyone says they do know, they don't know. They're making it up. One of the things that I learned in seminary is that there are mysteries that we can't know the answer to. And where did God come from, and what is God made of, and stuff like that. Those are mysteries, and we're not going to know those answers until we go to heaven. Now, when you go to heaven, you can ask those questions, and you'll get some really good, straightforward answers. But part of the problem is, as a human being, we only have so much capacity for understanding things. And I think those things are way beyond our pay grade. Okay, so you all know or certainly know of or heard of the Big Bang Theory. Well, I don't think that is in any way contradictory to the idea of God speaking the world into existence, as it says in the Bible. Did God literally say the words, "Let there be," light, whatever? I think that's probably metaphorical. God initiated the Big Bang from nothing into everything that we know, all the space, all the time, all the matter, all the energy. And interestingly enough, science tells us that we only know 3% of the physical universe. 97% of the physical universe is dark matter and dark energy, of which we know nothing. This isn't something Jesus told me. This is something that science tells us. But Jesus told me that we know very little about the universe that God made, and most of it is mysterious to us, unknown to us. But we're, sort of in the process of trying to understand and know these things. And there's a whole big part of the universe called the supernatural world, which is most of the universe, and we know nothing about that. I shouldn't say nothing, but we only get glimpses into it, and our understanding is very limited. The second question: are we physical or are we spiritual? Jesus told me very clearly that we're spiritual beings given this experience in our development as spirits, because part of our role as spirits will be to parent, foster, love the new beings that are going through this educational process, this experiential learning in their development of spiritual beings by having a physical experience. There's an expression that's used a lot these days that we're spiritual beings having a physical experience, and that's just didn't put it exactly that way, but that's exactly his answer to my question: are we physical or spiritual? So one of the ways that we can disassociate ourselves from a lot of the experiences that were happening, and that's a very important way to deal with this world, to disassociate emotionally from experiences, disassociate yourself from anger, disassociate yourself from depression, disassociate yourself from hopelessness, disassociate yourself from greed, lust, revenge, lying, and that's a conscious decision. I mean, and we work at it, and I'm working at it every day. And we all should be working at disassociating ourselves from the negative parts of being a physical being, so that we can really become the beautiful, wonderful, loving, holy people that God created us to be. Next question: who manages all this? And Jesus responded immediately: the angels are in charge of managing all of this. And so we all have a team of angels around us, and their job is to guide us, protect us, correct us. And part of their hardest duty, which Jesus explained to me, is allow us to experience the consequences of our actions. And Jesus told me if the angels had their way, nothing bad would ever happen to us. But they don't do anything without checking in with the boss. That would be God. And God says, let it happen. If they want, excuse me, sorry, I didn't turn my phone off. Can you edit this out? Let me see what it is real quick.